everyone, if I could have your attention. Good afternoon. I'm Val Lawson. I'm the president of the National Education Association, Rhode Island. I'm so thrilled to be here today with you at the Statehouse, alongside with many of my dedicated colleagues to discuss the priorities of our organization. But before we begin today, I'd like to take a moment to recognize the NEARI officers in the room. If you just wave to everyone, if you're an officer, please. Thank you. I'd also like to recognize and thank my colleagues in the General Assembly who have joined us today. And my apologies out of the gate if I forget someone. My dear friend, Secretary of State Greg Amore is in the room. General Treasurer James Diosa, somewhere. Two of our champions today, the Senate President's with us. Woo! Speaker Joe Sakachi. On my champion list, Representative Jay Edwards, Senator Walter Felag, Senators Murray, Padalano, Gallo, Chairwoman of Education Gallo, Whip DeCoyens, Chairman DePalma, Senator Burke, as well as Senator Oyer and Loria. And on the representatives' side, Chair Corvese, Representative Norrie, Falella, Chairwoman Donovan, Representative Cruz, Phillips, Bennett, Carter, and Representative McGraw. Thank you so much for attending today. We appreciate your support. Just to take a moment to introduce our organization to everybody in the room. We proudly represent classroom teachers, education support professionals, higher education faculty, staff, graduate assistants, many of you may not know, municipal workers, state workers, and retiree. And as you can see from, if you look around the room, many of them have joined us here today. Has dedicated their life to public service, bringing unique skills and expertise to workplaces, whether it's in laboratories, libraries, town halls, state offices, or colleges or classroom. And every one of you deserves a fair wage for the hard work and your dedication you bring to the workforce every day. Last year, many of you were here, and we filled this room, and our priority was working on improving your pension by changing the calculation from the best 5 years to the best 3. We lobbied, we testified, many of you wrote postcards, and you showed up persistently using our collective voice. Your relentless advocacy from active and retired members alike made a huge difference. And together we secured the first improvement in state pensions in 38 years. So this achievement wouldn't be possible without people in this room. All of those people I just mentioned, but especially the collaboration of the Speaker Joe Sakachi, my dear friend, Senate President Dominic Ruggiero, who are in this room with us right now, and thank you both. So on behalf of our 12,000 members, we want to recognize your leadership and present you with the challenge coin. So here's our challenge coin. Many of our members received them today. And it's a two-sided coin, and it represents our core values and what drives our work. On one side, it highlights advocacy and solidarity, and it's inscribed with the words, "Together we are stronger, together we're heard." The other side recognizes your commitment to Rhode Island's working families in public education. And it says, "You are a champion for public education and a fighter for the working people." On behalf of our organization and our 12,000 members, I'd like to present you both with them. And the speaker's going to join us for just a couple of words.
Couple. Senator, I've been accused of a lot of things. A long talker is not one of them.
Come on.
So I will, first of all, say thank you. Thank you for this award and this recognition. And I accept it humbly and gratefully, but not for me, on the entire House of Representatives. Because I can't do this alone, and I have not done it alone. I have a lot of people, a lot of support. Senator Lawson, a great ally for NEA, a living, breathing example of the best of the best. Thank you very much, Senator Lawson. Nothing makes me happy to be here today for all of the recognition, but nothing makes me happy to be here with my good friend, the Senate President. It's great to see you. There were a couple of representatives who were here who did not get recognized. I want to make sure I recognize them. My good friend, excuse me, Rep. Jay Edwards, Representative Jenny Furtado, Chairwoman Fogarty, and Chairwoman Caldwell are also here, somewhere in the background. And if there is a representative who I have missed, I'm sorry, I just think, look, I thought she said Jen Boylan, but if not, I recognize Jen Boylan. I thought Val Lawson said that earlier, but if not, Jen Boylan as well. Thank you. Let's take a moment to also recognize the leader of NEA who could not be here today because of a personal matter. And that is a real dear friend of mine, somebody we went to high school together with, Mary Barton. So let's take a moment of silence, just a moment of silence please for Mary. And she's going through some difficulties in her life right now. And let her know that we're all with her in thought and prayer. Thank you. And thank you all to the teachers who are here, as well as your membership. Teaching is a public service, and I thank all of you for the work in shaping our future leaders. Like many professionals, teaching has changed dramatically, and you're not just educators anymore. You do so much more. You're community leaders, in some cases you're co-parents, in some cases you're counselors, you're mediators, you're protectors, you're advocates, you're so much more. General Assembly recognizes the work you do, and we made historic investments above and beyond the governor's budget last year. The General Assembly, the House and Senate, working in collaboration, put an additional $71 million in education. Because we had strong revenue numbers in May, we addressed COLA changes, cost of living, for people who retired before the COLAs were changed. That was a significant additional cost that we're paying for today, and I'm proud to say we did it, and I would do it again. Although some people are criticizing us for that, it was the right decision at the right amount of time. We targeted additional funding for multilingual learners. We passed common sense gun safety and a safe storage bill. And we restored state-aided education funding formula that was cut in the governor's budget. These achievements are not possible unless everybody works together. Everybody shares a common theme, which is to make sure that we put targeted money in education. When we have the money, I can't think of a better and more productive and a more useful place to spend it is in education. And that means just about everybody in this room. Thank you very much, and thank you for what you do.
Thank you, Speaker. And as we all know, we began this journey last year with a couple of our legislative champions, leaders who carried your voices, your stories, to their colleagues, and they made it their priority. Their dedication and advocacy helped turn our collective effort into real progress. And we are incredibly grateful for your work. And today I am honored to also present challenge coins to Senator Walter Felag and Representative Jay Edwards for their recognition and their leadership. And Representative Edwards. We thank you for your unwavering commitment, your dedication to our cause, and all of your work. And we're looking forward to working with Representative Edwards and Senator Felag to continue fighting for further pension improvements. And NEARI will be right alongside you to continue this fight and make sure all of the voices in this room are heard. I'd also like to recognize a couple more of the elected officials in the room. Representative Speakman, Chairman McNamara, sorry about that, Representative Agello, my colleagues in the Senate, Senator Urso, Chairman Basilian, Chairman LaMountain, Senators Thompson and Valverde. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. And at this time, I'm going to turn this program over with the details of our agenda for the remainder to our Communications Director, Stephanie Mandeville.
Thank you, Val. And a special thank you to President Ruggiero, Speaker Shikarchi, Senator Felag, and Representative Edwards for your unwavering commitment to the students and workers of Rhode Island. Thank you. Advocacy starts with showing up. We cannot champion public education or fight for working people if we aren't present, engaged, and persistent. That's why every NEARI member who showed up today received the same challenge coin as our legislative champions, because your dedication and action make the difference. And I'm putting this back in my pocket because there's so many of you, I'm afraid I'm not going to get one. NEA Rhode Island has been a labor union since 1845. That's longer than the national NEA. And for 180 years, we have prioritized the health and well-being of students. While student health looked different in the 1800s, our mission in 2025 remains the same. Our students are in crisis. The mental and behavioral health challenges facing students today are undeniable. Even before the pandemic, children were struggling, and COVID-19 only exacerbated an already critical issue. Studies confirm what educators see firsthand every day. Students need more support. That's why student health and well-being is a major focus of our legislative agenda this year. We are working with parents, allies, and lawmakers to tackle the root causes that hinder learning, engagement, and meaningful social interactions in safe, welcoming public schools. We also know that personal devices are taking a serious toll on students' focus and mental health. That's why we're working with partners to determine the best path forward for a statewide cell phone policy. And it's one that does not place the burden of enforcement solely on teachers and education support professionals. We'll learn more about that in a moment. Beyond prevention, we must also ensure that when students struggle with stress or emotional regulation, the right supports are in place. We are introducing legislation to require every district to establish a student safety and behavioral health committee. This committee, comprised of educators and administrators, would assess existing supports, review intervention procedures, and identify additional resources needed to ensure that every single student receives the care and education that they deserve. And we are grateful to Senator Peter Apollonio and Representative Megan Cotter for championing this bill. Val has already touched upon the importance of fair wages, benefits, and pension improvements, and our education professionals will highlight additional legislative priorities in just a moment. In addition to the student health and well-being initiatives, we will be supporting a number of bills that advance safe, respectful workplaces and a retirement with dignity. And I am thankful to Representatives Corvese, Furtado, McEntee, Bennett, Casimiro, Donovan, and Slater in the House, and Senators Chacon, Thompson, Cisnowski, Murray, Vasilian, and Gallo, and Brito in the Senate for stewarding that legislation through the process this year. While we are here at the Statehouse discussing statewide issues, we cannot ignore the threat to public education, students, and workers at the federal level. With about 10% of our public education budget coming from federal funds, everything we're advocating for today is at risk. The Department of Education plays a critical role in ensuring equity in the public schools where we welcome all children to reach their academic and life potential, no matter their race, their zip code, their ability, or their immigration status. Any effort to dismantle the Department of Education brings real and serious consequences for American families, jeopardizing the programs and funding that support students in rural, urban, and suburban communities alike. Its destruction would undermine the very foundation of fair and accessible education, making it more important than ever for educators, parents, and communities to unite in action, and for lawmakers to enact legislation now to protect workers and students here in the Ocean State for years to come. And let me say this. If Elon Musk wants to steal money from our kids to fund his tax breaks, he's going to have to go through us first. For our members, I know that anxiety is high, but stay engaged. Unions are built for moments like this. Stay focused on what matters most, serving and supporting the students and communities of Rhode Island that you work with every single day. Thank you for all of you that you do. And now I'd like to turn it over to Melissa Taylor from South Kingstown. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Good afternoon. My name is Melissa Taylor, and I am a paraprofessional from South Kingstown. I have been working in classrooms with students supporting their learning and well-being for the past 13 years. I am here today to emphasize the critical role of paraprofessionals in classrooms, especially as we face the growing mental health crisis among students. Paraprofessionals are essential, not only for academic support, but also for identifying and addressing students' mental health needs. Yet every year we see budget cuts, and too often paraprofessionals are among the first to go. The reality is, we need more paraprofessionals in classrooms, not fewer. With increasing class sizes, it is difficult for teachers to catch every student who may be struggling. Paraprofessionals serve as additional eyes, recognizing when a student is in crisis, academically, socially, or emotionally. We offer a comforting presence and help students feel secure and supported. This in turn improves their emotional regulation, engagement, and overall success in the classroom. We are on the front lines, in the classrooms, hallways, cafeterias, playgrounds, at arrival, and at dismissal. Every day, paraprofessionals see firsthand the challenges students face. And we don't just observe, we step in. For some students, our presence is what gets them through the day. For others, we are the trusted ally who help navigate their struggles. Often, we are the first to notice when a student needs help, and we guide them towards the support they require. But this individualized attention is at risk. Despite district public schools are facing budget shortfalls, while charter schools receive disproportionate funding increases. With districts like mine in South Kingstown losing more than $150,000 in funding, and East Greenwich losing $800,000 in funding, students in need will suffer the most. When learning gaps and student mental health are already in crisis, this is simply unacceptable. We will continue to advocate for more paraprofessionals in classrooms because we see the difference they make every single day. We look forward to working with the General Assembly to ensure a fair and equitable funding formula for all Rhode Island schools. Thank you, and to all the paraprofessionals out there, thank you for the incredible impact you make in children's lives.
Great job, Melissa. Good afternoon. My name is Brian Nelson, and I'm a math teacher in the South Kingstown School District. I also serve as the Assistant Treasurer for NEA Rhode Island, and have the honor of being co-president of NEA South Kingstown. Today, I want to talk about the impact of personal devices in our schools, and why implementing a clear and strong cell phone policy is a game changer for both students and educators. We know that personal devices take a serious toll on students' ability to focus in the classroom and their overall mental health. They are also a major source of classroom disruption. This year, our district implemented a cell phone ban, and I've seen firsthand the profound positive impact it has had, not only on our students, but also on teaching itself. Teaching is an incredibly rewarding but challenging profession. Managing distractions, keeping students engaged, and supporting their well-being are daily priorities. The cell phone ban has significantly eased that burden. Without the constant pull of phone screens, students are more attentive, engagement has improved, and classroom management is easier. I can focus on teaching rather than redirecting students away from their devices. Beyond the classroom, the ban has fostered a positive shift on student mental health. Social media's constant presence intensifies anxiety, comparison, and stress. But removing that distraction during the school day has given students a much-needed break. They are more present, less anxious, and better able to connect with one another face-to-face. One of the most striking changes has been in how students interact with each other. Without phones to retreat to, they are talking, laughing, and building real friendships during lunch and breaks. They are rediscovering genuine social connections, which are critical for their development and well-being. Ultimately, this policy has benefited our entire school community. Improved focus, better mental health, stronger academics, deeper social connections, and a more manageable classroom environment all demonstrate the value of limiting cell phones use in schools. Every student, no matter their district, deserves the opportunity for focused learning and meaningful social connections. That is why we are grateful to Representative Julie Casimiro and Senator Melissa Murray for championing legislation that will require districts to establish and implement policies limiting cell phone use during instruction. A strong, clear policy works. I've seen firsthand how it has transformed the learning environment in South Kingstown, and now it is time to bring these benefits to students across Rhode Island. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Jen Sarinen, and I'm a math teacher at Kickamuit Middle School in the Bristol-Warren Regional School District. Last year, I stood at this very podium and called for common sense gun safety legislation. Thanks to the leadership of the Rhode Island General Assembly and Governor McKee, the Safe Storage Act became law, ensuring firearms are securely stored and when not in use. This law will save lives. Thank you, Governor, and thank you to Senator Loria and Representative Caldwell for your tireless efforts in getting this bill across the finish line. But while the Safe Storage Act is a critical step forward, our work is far from done. That's why I'm back, because this is the year we finally ban assault weapons in Rhode Island. Assault weapons have one purpose: to kill as many people as possible, as quickly as possible. These weapons of war have no place in our schools, our communities, or in the streets of civilized societies. We cannot afford to wait. Firearms are the leading cause of death among children in America. How many more lives must be lost before we take action? Rhode Island must take steps now to keep us from adding to statistics. I am heartened to see that Governor McKee has made banning assault weapons a priority by including it in his state budget. If a budget reflects our values, then this sends a clear message. The time for action is now. I'm also grateful to Representative Jason Knight and Senator Lou DePalma for once again leading the charge on this legislation. We are ready. Rhode Islanders are ready, and we need our lawmakers to be ready too. If education is the foundation of our democracy, then public schools are the cornerstone of our communities. Aren't they all worth protecting? Ban assault weapons this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Jen. Hi, everyone. My name is Cynthia Johnson. I am an associate professor in the dental health department at the Community College of Rhode Island. Rhode Island faces a critical shortage of healthcare professionals, and our program is the only accredited dental hygiene and dental assistant program in the state. These programs play a vital role in addressing the needs of Rhode Islanders. In fact, CCRI graduates about 90% of the dental hygienists in the state of Rhode Island, and also 90% of the dental assistants, certified dental assistants in the state of Rhode Island as well. Dental hygiene is a strong middle-class profession. With an associate's degree from CCRI, our graduates earn a median salary of $86,000 upon graduation per year. But helping students reach these career goals is a tremendous effort. Many face financial hardships and family obligations and responsibilities. They are balancing family responsibilities, school, jobs, and also children as well as aging parents. I love working with them. I love helping them reach their goals and to meet their needs. Our incredible team of faculty, adjuncts, and professional staff, thank you. We can't do our job without you. We all work tirelessly to help them graduate and to earn a rewarding career and to get them across what we call the finish line to graduation to this profession. But while it uplifts our students, we as educators are struggling. My base salary is less than what my students make upon graduation. Like many of my colleagues, I took a tremendous pay cut to teach, and I often work a second job and work during the summers to make ends meet. Like many of us, right, in education? The problem is not unique to CCRI. Where's my URI people today, right? URI! I am an alum of CCRI and URI, so. Our graduate assistants and professional staff drive, innovate, and educate, bringing millions into our state. Yet, they struggle too with the cost of higher living and low wages. Strong public higher education is essential to the future of our ocean state. This year, thousands of us at CCRI and URI are negotiating our contracts. We call on the General Assembly to invest in us because you invest in education, you invest in your educators, you invest in the students, invest in healthcare, and invest in the strengths of Rhode Island and the people in our state. Thank you so much.
This is amazing energy. This is what the labor movement is all about. Thank you all so much for showing up today. I want to do, we got a couple other dignitaries who came. Thank you to Senator Reptakis and Senator Apollonio for being here, Representative Carson and Representative McEntee. Also, a huge thank you to the local member organizers, led by Rosanna, who's a teacher in Burrillville, Denise, who teaches in Barrington, all of our amazing local presidents. You all work so hard. Our vice president, who leads our PACE committee, Amy Mullen, our campaign organizers, Beth and Jill, who teach in Portsmouth, who are helping sign people in. You all work so hard to make today happen. It is time for us to get to work. So, if your last name begins with A or L, you're going to go to the Senate. If your last name begins with M through Z, you're going to go to the House first. Your goal is to find your representative or senator and talk to them about why you're here today. If you don't find them, did I say that right?
A through L. A through L. You said A and L.
Sorry. A through L, you're going to the Senate first. M through Z, you're going to the House first. If you can't find your person there, go to the opposite chamber and try to find it. We have folks from NEARI and the AFL who are there who are going to say, oh, let me see your sheet. They'll look at your picture and say, that's your person, that's your person. If you can't find them, go to the alternate chamber. If you can't find anybody, that's okay. You got their phone numbers, call them tomorrow and let them know why you were here. At 4:30, we're going to wrap up with a big picture in the rotunda, so don't leave until that happens. With this many people, it's going to be really chaotic. Just do your best, and if you can't find them, call them tomorrow. Sound good, everybody? Sound good! Whose house? Our house! Let's go!
Great job. Great job, everyone. Thank you.